A couple of years ago, if you told me that cheap fragrances could be better than the original, I'd tell you to probably go yourself. Hell, even during 2023, it's actually a real thing. Let's talk about 10 cheap fragrances that are better than the original.
Here's some codes to save you some cash on your next Middle Eastern niche or designer fragrances.
What's going on, guys? My name is Neep. Welcome back to AROMATIX. You heard me right. These are better than the original, and they're literally some of them at a quarter of the price. It's genuinely mind-blowing, but that's just the facts. That's the nature of where we're at nowadays. And you know, I honestly think I like it. I like it. Who the hell wouldn't like it? You know what? The only people I could see not enjoying it is if you're just a little bit sour. And I could understand that. If I were to spend $300 on a fragrance and go smell something for $35 and it smells better, I'd be pretty sour myself. I definitely would. So let's talk about 10 fragrances that would make me sour about buying the original. These are better than the original fragrances. I'm gonna start off with something super heavy hitting, and this is a release in the late of 2023, and it's called El Nashama by Lattafa. Better than Inicio's Paragon. Yeah, it's better. Why is it better, you may ask? Well, the reason this one is better is because it's louder, it's jammier, it's stronger, lasts longer, projects better. I mean, it's a 10 out of 10 in every single way, and it does not smell cheap by any means. I mean, even there's virtually no alcohol off the atomizer, the initial blast. It's crazy. I honestly can't believe what came out of this bottle when I sprayed it. It's super addictive stuff. Plum, Palo Santo, peppers, incense, extremely unisex, super jammy plum. It's just juicier than the original. In-freaking-sane. The first day I decided to rock this, the compliments, insane. This is a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. You're gonna get better than that niche fragrance for like 40 bucks, 45 bucks. So niche quality, yes. Better than the original longevity, yes. I would wear this over the original. I would wear this over the original. There you go. Inicio's, or well, might as well be. But no, Lattafa El Nashama. Fire stuff. A 15 out of 10. Next one on this list is better, in my opinion, than Chanel Allure Homme Sport. The reason is, it's very specific. For Chanel Allure Homme Sport, it comes off, I don't know what it is. There's something in the mid to dry down that comes off almost like rubber to me. Not burning rubber, but just tar. Tar or rubber nuance that just sets me off completely. This one opens up like a combination of Eau Extreme, which has some of this tonka. It's musky, it's fresh, it's got some citruses. You could signature scent this. You could wear this literally every single day. Appropriate for anywhere as well. This one is a hybrid of both. Within the first 20 minutes, that tonka starts to dry off and it gets a lot closer to Allure Homme Sport. And for the price, it's stupid. It's literally stupid cheap, okay? And it's better in my opinion than Allure Homme Sport. I had that fragrance on my list and I used to just want it just because I have all the other allures. Pick this one up and there's no need for it anymore. It's called El Dirgham by Oud Azraq. It says limited edition, but don't be fooled. This is far from limited. It's been out there for, I don't know, yeah. I guess they're trying to get you to just buy it now. Aside from limited, buy it now because it's genuinely that good. It's better than the original in my opinion. These fragrances put such a big smile on my face because, I mean, this is why I love these fragrances, because essentially in a way, these are like 10 fragrances that we as consumers win with, right? And that's why I love discovering these cheapies, because it's like when you find something that's just as good for a fraction or better, it's like, yeah, I won, you know, team, like consumer, like you're not gonna get me, but they still get me personally because I buy the original too. But for you, okay? Yeah, this is it. El Dirgham by Oud Azraq. Thank me later. Fresh, musk, every day. Number 3, Dolce Gabbana Luminous Night. It's a fantastic fragrance. It's been out for quite some time, actually. Relatively hard to find here in the States. It's got this date, amber, sandalwood. It's pretty soft, it's smooth. It's actually one of the best one in my opinion, right there next to Dolce Gabbana, the one EDP. EDP is sexier. Luminous Night is more Middle Eastern sexy. This one is more of a twist of it, but it's stronger, lasts longer. It's better than the original, man. You don't need the one Luminous Night after this fragrance. So I actually bought the Dates Delight by House of Oud just to confirm whether or not this is a dupe of that or a dupe of Luminous Night. So when I sprayed Luminous Night next to this one, it was relatively close, but there are some differences amongst them both. But I found this one to be closest to the one Luminous Night. And in comparison to that, this is better, easily better. I actually wore this to Cheesecake Factory on a Cheesecake Factory date. Art of Arabia 3 by Lattafa Pride. Yeah, distinctive date nuance. Amber, sandalwood, sexy, some Middle Eastern spice, so damn good. It's got this tonka bean type of sweetness with a fruity top to it, some amber, sandalwood. Man, this is cozy vibes. Cozy vibes that's better, longer lasting than the one Luminous Night. While it's not 100% Luminous Night, better than Luminous Night. And that's what this list is all about. A fragrance that's better, lasts longer, and everything else. Yeah. Parfums de Marly Percival, Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce, Mont Blanc the original. If you enjoy these types of scent profiles, basically smells like a Hollister store. It's fresh, got some green aspects to it. All of them are great. Some of them are better than the others. Mont Blanc doesn't last that long. Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce, also, you know, it's debatable. And Parfums de Marly Percival, it's pretty expensive. This one is cheaper, actually. It's right there with the Mont Blanc prices, but lasts longer than almost all of those. And this is from Ahmed al-Maghribi, and it's called Kaaf. Kaaf is just a letter in Arabic. It's like the letter K in Arabic, but this is spelled with K-A-A-F. Exactly that. Fresh, aquatic, and super strong. This is beast mode stuff. I would personally not spray this more than 5 to 6 times. I have before, and it gave me a headache. So really strong stuff, fire. One of my favorite Menthol fragrances is Honey Oud. It's not my favorite, but it's one of. This fragrance, however, does it even better. It's denser, it's thicker, it lasts longer, and it projects a lot longer. This is a screamer. If you don't enjoy screaming fragrances, you might want to go with the original, but for me personally, I think bang for buck wise, you're getting more out of this, therefore it makes it a better fragrance. This is from Swiss Arabian, and it's called Shagaf Oud Azraq. This is fire. Oud and honey. That's essentially what this one is. All my Middle Eastern brothers and sisters, you need this in your collection, for sure. Ladies, you could rock this as well if you like darker, denser oud fragrances. More recently, people are starting to appreciate and enjoy oud more. I love oud, I always have. And when you become a little bit more trained, you're gonna start to appreciate it as well. And that's what I believe it's actually, you know, a product of. A lot of people have been jumping into this fragrance community, which is beautiful. I love that. Welcome to the community if you're new. And as you start to develop and you get used to a lot of these scent profiles, you find that you want a little more, a little more. It's like a crack addict, because that's what it essentially, that's what all of this is crack. This, it's crack. It's really good. Get your nose on it. Oud and honey, fire. Let's set the record straight with this next one, okay? This next one, Creed fragrances. Let's talk about Creed fragrances. I'm laughing because of the history I have with this thing right here. Creed Aventus. I mean, this thing has been through hell and back, man. It's split because I took it out in the cold, did some like freaking fragrance battles. I mean, it's sharp. This will slice somebody open, man. But this dent right here is probably like 2 wears, legitimately, because it doesn't last longer than 20 freaking minutes. This is the newer batches. The old batches, don't get it twisted, man. This was a signature, this was an iconic fragrance, and genuinely one of the best scent profiles for a long time, genuinely. However, today, the new formulations, and we're talking about the F batches. This is F000558. It's water, man. It's been watered down. It doesn't have the same birch qualities. It doesn't have some of those sharp nuances that really help it stand out. It's more muskier, and it really kills the scent profile and the performance. They have other fragrances as well. We're gonna be talking about a fragrance that's actually inspired by Millésime Imperial. Millésime Imperial smells good. It's like watermelon, salty, really head turning, especially if you wear it during the summertime. However, that one doesn't really last the longest either. You can smell it easier than you can smell the Ventus for sure, but it only lasts about 4 to 5 hours. The fragrance we're gonna talk about is better. It lasts longer, genuinely lasts longer. I don't get less than 6 to 7 hours. This is a fresh type of fragrance for sure. This is from AROMATIX. It's called Club de Nuit Milestone. This, Millésime Imperial, better performing, better deal. I really wouldn't buy Millésime Imperial anymore. Genuinely, I would not. And that's why you don't see it up there. You don't see it up there because I wouldn't buy it personally. Is it a good fragrance? Yeah, it's a good fragrance. Is it still worth the purchase today? It might be, especially if you have a collection. But if you ask me what's better, I'll tell you Milestone. So let's move on to the next one. This next one is a better performing fragrance than the original. It just lasts longer, at least 2 hours longer. This is a fragrance that you can wear in like the highest of heat, the highest of humidity, and it won't be cloying. It's just fresh. It smells clean. You can wear it to the gym, the office, and generally with those scent profiles, you have to respray every 4 hours, but that's not the case with this one. Surprisingly so. You'll get 6 hours out of this one, which is 2 hours longer than what I get with the original. And in the dry down, it's probably gonna last even longer. This is from Fragrance World, and it's called Parfum d'Hommes Sport. A sleeper. Not really spoken of much, but it is stronger. This is actually an eau de parfum concentration, while the original is an eau de toilette. So yes, significantly denser and more oils in this one, and you can actually see the color difference in the oils in this than you can in the original. This, it's stronger and lasts longer. So a sport fragrance you could wear every day, and better than the original for half at least the price. The original of this fragrance, I absolutely love. I genuinely love this one. It takes the original, which is just some vanilla and some resins, Invictus Victory. Very simple, but it adds a sexy nature to it. It puts this dirty, earthy vibe, which really makes it raunchy and sexy in my opinion. This, however, takes that same DNA, takes that same vibe, but makes it even sweeter. I have a crazy sweet tooth. Anything sweet, my God, I'm practically drinking the bottle. This one's a little bit sweeter than the original, and for that reason, I love this one. one. I personally think it's better than the original. If you enjoy sweet fragrances, you will as well. If you don't enjoy sweet fragrances, you're probably better off going with the original. Still sexy, both of them sexy as hell. With this fragrance, I've never gotten less than 8 hours, and I've gotten up to 10+ hours, depending on whether or not I sprayed it on clothing. This is from Khadlaj. It's called Epoque Artistique. Amazing stuff, genuinely underrated. I hardly hear anything about this fragrance, and it's criminal. Amber woods, super rich vanilla, some earthy nuances. My God, this is sexy as hell and sweet. Long lasting, sexy, sweet, not as raunchy, and for that reason, sweeter equals better. Don't get it twisted though, the original is fire too. You get the original, it's good. You get this one, if you enjoy sweet, it's better. Next on this list is an inspired by Venicio's Musk Therapy. In my opinion, this is the best one currently, because you all know they're always spawning new dupes. But for me, genuinely, this is better than the original. I picked up a very faint cardamom nuance in this fragrance. There's just this slight tinge of spice. And for that exact reason, I enjoy this one more than the original. The original's still fantastic. It's just this feel-good fragrance. It smells like spring blossoms, you know, cherry blossom trees, I should say. Very feel-good vibes, extremely unisex. The original, some people would argue that is slightly feminine. I've rocked it multiple times. It smells like fabric softener. This one takes that fabric softener, has a little bit more Middle Eastern spice. It's Intro's Ivory Musk. When I say a little, I mean very little, almost insignificant. But for me, it's significant enough for me to enjoy it a little bit more. I still enjoy the original, and I think that the original is a fantastic smelling fragrance, but this, I like it better. Creamy fabric softener vibes with a slight undertone of some spice. The performance on this one is also easily all day. I rocked this to the gym, got numerous compliments. Actually, a couple of the ladies at the gym that I sprayed with bought it on the spot. It's only about 30 bucks. And for 30 bucks, I would say that this is close enough to make it a better deal and a better fragrance in general. Last one, crazy stuff. It's better than the original, but what is the original? Kamra. Yeah, Lattafa's Kamra. Yeah, it was that good of a fragrance to make it to the original list. However, Kamra itself, it's not an original fragrance. It's inspired by a qissa fragrance called Sava, an angel share. It's that whole angel share DNA. It takes it, lowers the booze, adds more of the fruity nuance, some dates, maybe a bit more spices as well. Smells fantastic. This is like a hybrid of Kamra plus angel share. This lasts longer, smells stronger, and I love this stuff. I don't know where this has been. It's been flying under the radar for a long time. I kind of wish I discovered this earlier so I can include it at least as a mention in the Clone War. But this, in my opinion, is better than Kamra. I'm not going to say it's better than Kamra Qahwa. Kamra Qahwa, which is Kamra coffee, is something a little bit different. There's definitely this detectable coffee nuance in the base. This, though, in this day and age, currently right now, is better than Lattafa's Kamra. Who knows? Kamra might get reformulated, etc. This one, strong as hell, lasted for 3 days on clothing. It's from Dumont. It's called Salario Epic. Epic stuff in this bottle, man. My God, so addicting. It's like Kamra with more booze and richer scent profile. It's stickier, it's sweeter, it's better, plain and simple. This is better than Lattafa's Kamra. Salario Epic. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 10 fragrances that I find better than the originals. Some of these just kill the OG. I mean, Art of Arabia, El Nashama, Dhommes Sport, and even Khadlaj Epoque Artistique. These are all 10 out of 10s, easily 10 out of 10s, maybe even 12 out of 10s. They're worth at least checking out. I really wish there was a way that people could sample these so you don't have to jump into blind buys. Unfortunately, it's not the case, at least right now. There might be a couple of websites that do decant some of these. Check out Fragrance Decant Boutique. I'll leave a couple. They're all down in the description. Check it out for samples, etc. I tried to be as descriptive as possible to help you guys with potentially buying some of these. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the current status or the current state of these cheap fragrances. Do you appreciate the fact that some of them are better? I personally, I do. I think that it puts or holds these brands, these higher brands, to a higher standard. Okay, you want us to pay the 300? Sure, if it's worth it, cool. But your standard, it has to be up there, man. A couple of fragrance brands are watering down some of their fragrances. Like I heard Parfums de Marly Layton went from like an 18% concentration, don't quote me for the numbers, to like a 12. Genuinely, they're not even hiding it anymore. So some of these brands, when they release these, I'm like, yeah, I mean, they're going straight for the throat. Team consumer all day. I have the entire spectrum of fragrances, indie, niche, cheapies, and there are a lot of niche that are still worth it. And more than half of the time, I'm gonna suggest niche fragrances. That's what I love to wear. But nowadays, a lot of these cheapies, they're really giving these niche companies a run for their money. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Do me a solid and hit that like, make sure to subscribe, and until the next video, peace.